The first rule of success is to have a vision. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. It's like you can have the best ship in the world, you can have the best airplane in the world. If the pilot or the captain doesn't know where to go, it would just drift around. It would not end up anywhere, or most likely in the wrong place. 74% hate their job in America. The majority of people don't like what they're doing, because they're really not doing it because they didn't have a goal and they followed this goal. They just aimlessly drift around, and then all of a sudden there's a job opening, so they get that job because you have to work. But then when you work, it's a chore. It's work. It's not fun. So if you think about, only a quarter of the people really enjoy what they're doing in life. That is unbelievable if you think about it. So I felt so blessed that I knew what I was doing.
Are you building your life right now with a bigger blueprint, with a great vision of what your life should look like? Or are you just drifting by and hoping that things will work out? Well, if you don't have a crystal clear vision, why don't we build one? And there are two ways to do it. Let me explain. You can go from the top down or the bottom up. The top down method is that you think about the broader strokes already in the beginning. You have a broader vision of what appeals to you. Think about it this way. It's like building a house. Now, you don't want to start just building the doors and the windows. You want to know how this entire thing looks like. How big is it? How much material do I gonna need? So it's about the bigger blueprint overall. And if you're not sure what that is, well, here's a little test. Sit down and write down 10 or 20 different goals that you want to achieve. The big visions in your life, the big things that you want to do. And don't hold back. Behave like kids behave when they are asked what they want for Christmas. Like these events that they have at department stores for kids, and the kids sit on Santa's lap and they ask, what do you want for Christmas? And the kid says, I want a swimming pool behind the house. No, I want 2 swimming pools. One for me and one for you. That kind of like crazy goals. If I gave you a magic wand and tell you you can make one of these goals reality right now, which one would you pick? I bet with you there's one goal that jumps out at you. Now this is an interesting one because again, it helps us to unleash all these different things and ideas that we have maybe in the back of our brain. And we just need to sort out what goes where. But the emotional response will always be there. So if you try to make the test, see what happens, see what jumps at you. Or you can tap into something that you were interested from your childhood early on and think about what that was and come back to that and unleash of like, yeah, this was always something that I wanted to do. Sometimes just writing out all these different goals is a really great way unearthing all these different things that we carry inside of us, because there are so many different wishes and aspirations, and just bring them out on paper really, really helps to get an overview. And then you can make a comparison. What is most important and what would I pick? You should paint the biggest, most daring vision for yourself. You might think that you want to start small. You might think that, oh, I better keep my vision on the low side just to make sure I achieve it, versus a bigger vision that can be so much more exciting. The bigger the vision that you have, the more excitement you will get out of them.
Do you know how great it felt that I knew where I was going? Imagine the majority of people don't know where they're going. I knew where I was going, that I'm going to become this bodybuilding champion just like him. So it was just a question of how do you do it? In the gym, in the pumping iron days, they say, why is it that you're working out so hard, 6 hours a day, and you have always a smile on your face? The others are working out just as hard as you do, and they look sour. And I told people all the time, I said, because to me, I'm shooting for a goal. In front of me is the Mr. Universe title. Every rep that I do gets me closer to accomplishing that goal, to make this goal, this vision turn into reality. So I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound squat. I couldn't wait to do another 500-pound bench press. I couldn't wait to do another 2,000 reps of sit-ups. I couldn't wait for the next exercise. When you have a goal, when you have a vision, everything becomes easy.
There's an interesting correlation between the audacity of your goals and the energy that it mobilizes inside your brain. The bigger and more exciting the goal gets, the more we unleash these happy hormones that keep us on our path and help us push forward through obstacles. And this happens automatically because we are wired that way. You don't have to do anything. As long as you stick with it, you will start to change. It's actually hard not to change if you do this. So how cool is that?
It is very dangerous to have a plan B because you're cutting yourself off from the chance of really succeeding. And the reason, one of the main reasons why people want to have a plan B is because they are worried about failing. What is if I fail, then I don't have anything else? Well, let me tell you something, don't be afraid of failing because there's nothing wrong with failing. You have to fail in order to climb that ladder. There's no one that doesn't fail. We all have losses, this is okay, and this is why I say don't be worried about losing, because when you're afraid of losing, then you get frozen. You get stiff, you're not relaxed. You got to be, in order to perform well in anything, if it's in boxing or if it is on your job or with your thinking, is only happening when you relax. So relax. It's okay to fail. Let's just go all out and give it everything that you got. That's what it is all about. So don't be afraid to fail.
Arnold Schwarzenegger wrote in his book, Be Useful, which is a great book, by the way, in a chapter, start broad and zoom in, which is a great concept. Have just this broad vision, and then you start to zoom in what it actually means in terms of goals to flesh out. It's like a giant map. And instead of dotting all over the map your areas of interest, as long as you have like a zone of interest, say, I want to visit the United States. Then you can zoom in on that and say like, okay, where is that where you want to go? Say, oh, I want to go to California. So where in California? Then you start looking at, okay, which hotel do you want to stay in? Which beach do you want to visit? Or which restaurant do you want to go to? All these little things that you can use to flesh out where is it that you want to be. The more exciting details you can collect around your vision, the more it becomes a vivid and powerful force you can tap into. This is coming from the broad picture and then shaping that into something more concrete. And the great thing is here you have the chance to create this really vivid vision, something that you can almost feel and taste, and that gets exciting. And this excitement, again, sparks all these little fireworks in our brain that keeps us motivated and gives us idea of what we need to work towards to. But here's the thing, I would also argue that you should not get too married to the details and always leave the door open for other great stuff to happen to you along the way, because this is what's going to happen. As long as you move in that direction, you will start to see possibilities you had no ideas that existed. Some new doors will open and then you're off to the races. You become a totally different person beyond of what you wanted to achieve. So let things happen. What if you don't have that big, broad vision where you want to go? What do you do then? Well, that's still okay. But that doesn't mean that it's better to just sit there and do nothing about it. This is your life, and you're in charge of it. Only you can create the life you want for yourself. So if you don't have that broad vision, you can start small, which means you just pick one small goal and then go after that. Just try that for a week, something that is important to you. If you want to be healthier, like I want to go to the gym 3 times a week, or if it's about nutrition, or it's about your hobby, or something that is important to you. The rule, however, is, as Arnold writes in his book, that these goals fulfill 2 criteria. They make you proud when you achieve them, and they make you happy. And then you build on top of that. And as you become better and better at it, day by day, you can start setting goals for the next week. And if you start to get the hang of that, you will automatically start thinking bigger. You will think, well, what can I achieve in a month? What can I do in half a year? And slowly but surely, you build out your life vision out from there. The main point is that you need to get started. That's the bottom line. Because nothing happens if you don't move. Look, here is the deal. Only you can build your dream life. There is no genie that comes out of a bottle and grants you 3 wishes to do whatever you want to do. You are the genie. You have the magic in your hands. And it doesn't matter if it's from the top down or the bottom up. You can build your life vision and go after that. And I can already guarantee you, your brain will tell you, oh, let's not take this extra work. Let's keep things comfortable. Let's stay on the couch and keep scrolling. Yeah, I'm sure that will happen. Don't let it win. Just do something. Start today. Start with something small if you have to, but just start. just bring something down on paper and think, what is the next step? And see the magic happening. You are in charge. You are the genie here that can make the magic happening in your life. So choice is yours. So I hope some of that actually made a difference for you. And if there's anything that you found in this video that rings true to you and that you like, I would love it if you give me a like or give me a follow and hit that little subscription thingy, the bell on the side.